So there's a controversial Matt Walsh documentary, What is a Woman? Got into trouble with Twitter. And I just saw a brief thing on Twitter that's the best critique of the Matt Walsh documentary, What is a Woman? So I think that there is a time and a place to be deceptive. But if you're going to be deceptive, as the makers of What is a Woman were, then it puts a much greater burden on you. And so here is a 2-minute critique of What is a Woman, and I think it's a very fair and important critique.
Question for you. How would you feel if I invited you to be on my documentary? But I invite you using a fake name. I've made up a fictional organization. I lie to you about the premise of the film. I lie to you about who's producing it. I don't tell you that I plan to use the film to mock you, that it will incite harassment and death threats against you. Let's talk about What is a Woman, a documentary produced by Matt Walsh and his team at the Daily Wire. What is a Woman? To be honest, it's just a movie version of the things you usually see on Daily Wire's website. It's just a lot of gender ideology movement and, misgendering. That's all just table stakes with these people, so let's just leave that aside. What you do need to know about this movie is that the Daily Wire and its employees created this elaborate ruse of fake names and fake organizations to trick people into being in the film. We're not talking like, oh, they exaggerated or lied by omission. No, they fully made shit up. I know this because my college professor contacted me recently to let me know he's in the film without his consent. Sure, he agreed to be in a film, but not this one. He shared the emails with me and now I'm making them public for the first time. Let's look at a Daily Wire interview request. My professor didn't hear from the Daily Wire. He heard from a woman named Rebecca Dobkovitz. She contacted him about an independent documentary about transgender and LGBTQ communities. When she asked for a funding source, she said they were being funded by a benevolent source that would like to remain anonymous. The professor says that when he arrived to do the interview, they hid Matt Walsh from him until the interview started. That way they could still capture some footage just in case he recognized Matt. The key thing here is that my professor revoked consent in writing once he found out what this film was really about, but they just ignored his email.